What's up, everybody? We are back with another edition of the Ad Podcast, streaming live to you today from foundermade in beautiful Santa Monica. We have Darlene Justiniano, one of the founders and CEOs of Fancy Hair Innovation, making some really special products that are for curly hair and with all natural ingredients and no things that are bad for you. So Darlene, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you want to tell me a little bit about your story? What made you decide to start this brand?
Sure. So the story started with me. I personally struggle with trying to find hair care solutions that truly cater to my own hair texture. And that's really where the story began. I transitioned over to being a hairstylist. I grew up in the salon and I was really inspired to help women with curly textured hair feel beautiful and confident. And after spending over 15 years in the hair care space, I transitioned over to products because I felt like developing a formula that could be spread across the masses would be much more helpful.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the early days. What was the formulation process like? Like, you got something in mind, you go out and you find people who can get you the product. Like, tell me about getting the ingredients together, essentially. Tell me about that process.
Sure. Essentially, I went back to my roots, right? So I go back to the Madam C.J. Walker days where she's in the kitchen formulating hair products. I did the same thing. All of our ingredients are natural. For example, our conditioner has banana. So before finding organic extracts, we were using raw products, right?
Wow.
And then I had to find out, I had to discover and do my research and realize you can't sell produce in a bottle. It's going to spoil very easily.
Need a little bit of preservatives in there, right?
Yes, and the right formulations and some chemistry. Throughout that journey, I did a lot of research. We spent about 18 months just strictly doing research, learning the chemistry behind how to emulsify oil and water, how to mix those things together, finding safe synthetics that are not chemically damaging to hair and to the skin, working with cosmetic chemists and picking their brain and understanding, okay, how do these formulations work? Reaching out to wholesalers where we order our ingredients from, partnering with their cosmetic chemists and figuring out, are we doing the right thing? And then once I was able to really hone in on those formulations, we took those formulations and we outsourced some cosmetic chemists, and that's where we are now. We have a manufacturer who is now in Texas and a cosmetic chemist, and all of our products are formulated out of that warehouse.
Beautiful. That's a great story.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about the brand formulation. So tell me about the name, the packaging, what kind of went into that decision making?
Sure. So going back to my hairstylist days, my alter ego is Fancy, and that's what my salon, that was my name. And at the time when I was trying to transition out of the salon space, I was trying to come up with a name for a product, but that still resonated with my personal brand. If you look at the packaging, the label is me. It's literally my face.
Let's go.
And hair innovation, the innovative part for me is really the formulations, the natural ingredients, and how I was able to connect the educational piece with trying to inform our customers how to actually care for their hair that's growing out of their scalp. Believe it or not, a lot of curly hair people face underrepresentation, and we feel as though in order for us to feel beautiful, due to societal standards, you have to straighten your hair.
Wow.
So the innovative part for me is really being the face of the brand, wearing my hair natural, and being a representation for the brand.
I love that. Yeah, I think I told you earlier, I had a client who's one of the world's largest fitness influencers, and she's Persian, and she couldn't find products that work for her. They would send us samples and nothing really worked. So that's awesome. So go through the packaging phase. Now you got to go find customers. What'd you start doing, and what's worked really well for you from a marketing perspective?
Sure. So from a marketing perspective, what really works for us is that community outreach. Again, I started as a stylist, so a lot of my long-term clients followed me along through this journey, and word of mouth has been really beneficial for us. So for us, it's really shaking hands and kissing babies, as they say.
I love it.
Going to events like foundermade and other beauty expos where we can showcase the brand, we are founder led. I am the face of the brand. I like to get out there and talk to people and really understand their pain points and challenges. And I think as a founder, that's where you really start to solve problems, because you're hearing from the consumers firsthand, and you can go back and adjust certain things or take the feedback into consideration. Prior to transitioning out of hair care, I've also spent 9 years as an HR professional.
Okay.
So survey data is something that is at the core of what I do, and trying to understand how to solve problems and move forward. And I think that's also a piece to innovation too, right? It's like, how do we continue to grow? We have to listen to our consumer. We have to understand what they're going through.
Meet them where they're at.
Meet them where they're at and serve them.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. All right, so a lot of your marketing is word of mouth. You're coming to Founders Made. How did you find out about Founders Made, and what made you decide to get involved and come out to Santa Monica this week?
Sure. So one of my good girlfriends, Carmen Shum, who works for LinkedIn, we've been friends for a couple years now, and she knows that I've been putting in a lot of effort to build this brand and get as much awareness out as possible. And she said, hey, Founder Made might be a great event for you to showcase your products. And that's how I got included into the show. We've been doing a lot of grassroots work just in 2024 alone, hitting up all the major expos in the tri-state area. And she thought that this would be a good idea. We were going to be at the New York show, but for scheduling purposes, we had to come out to LA. We don't have a lot of foot traffic here in the West Coast, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to get some of that market share.
Has it lived up to your expectations?
Oh, it has exceeded my expectations.
Let's go.
This event has just been extraordinary, to say the least. Not just myself, but all the other founders here, all the other brands have been truly innovative, different. The founders that I've come across, even the attendees, dynamic people that are ready. I think the difference between any other expo that I've done, but aside from Founder Made, is the fact that Founder Made is really finding these unique brands in the very beginning, before we soar.
Totally.
So people get first dibs on
early stage,
first dibs on what's coming, what's ahead.
I love that. So most of the founders that I've talked to today have not been able to leave their booth even for a minute, barely even to get to lunch and get to the restroom. Were you able to attend any of the main stage keynotes, or was there anything, or did you have to stick around here?
Sadly, I have not. Well, I don't want to say sadly, because me not being able to leave my booth has been beneficial, because I've been able to talk to so many people. But sadly, I haven't been able to partake in any of the keynote speakers or fireside chats. However, I do know Founder Made has a YouTube channel.
And go check them out later.
Yeah, and they pre-record all of their panel speakers. So I will be able to check out the pre-recorded.
I love it. That's awesome. All right, well, such a cool brand. Really appreciate you coming on, Darlene. So why don't you tell the audience where they can find the products if they want to buy them? And also, we have a lot of other marketers who are audience members of the show, and a lot of people would probably like to reach out potentially about partnerships. So where can they buy the products, and where can they get in touch with you?
Sure, Dylan, thanks. You can find us at www.fancyshairinnovation.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Love it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Cheers.
Cheers.